My name is Matt Radman, and we are going to do a post-repair inspection on this Nissan Pathfinder that was hit primarily on this left front corner, and it got into also the driver front door. If you can open up that hood and help me pop the hood. Clips look pretty new, but there are a few that are broken. But they look pretty dang nice. That's a broken one. If you see any clips that are broken, go ahead and bring it up right away. Okay. There were a few that are broken. Yeah. See how some of these are. Oh, yeah. So, left fender, front bumper. Know if that's a factory thing, but already right off the bat, just taking off the side shields. There's a zip tie right here and a zip tie right here holding on a front foam absorber, so that we notice right off the bat. Also, initially, we're going to be taking off the lights and the front bumper to see what the inside looks like, and also the wheel well liners. Also, I noticed right at the back that this is bracket's extremely loose. Doesn't really want to hold on in place. Double like sided adhesive tape that's right here. It looks like this is supposed to clip in here and slide into the back, but we'll have to check to see if that's a factory thing. But we can see kind of all the scratching. definitely look like it's been scratched and worked on before. Couple more clips. Holding the wheel well.
Yeah. Inner liner.
See on this left or the right molding how much nicer and cleaner that is. There's a retainer completely missing on the side where the grill is. noticed that not only is this clip broken on this grill, everything else is pretty much intact. It's also broken on the other side. But what's more odd about this situation is that it's missing a screw there, here, and it was on the underside of this. So this wasn't even put on the right way. So yeah, this was not correctly adhered to the vehicle. And again, of course, you see the two zip ties right here. Double zip tied. It's like that because the retainer knobs are damaged and broken. So that would cause this to have an issue, and it looks a little pretty wornly damaged. Also, here are the zip ties that we're holding it on. 1, 2. Also, you notice that the headlight is touching the fender. There's no gap at all. If you take something thin as a little piece of paper or cardboard, I can't even put it in there at all. If I go to the other side, plenty of room. Put it in, no problem. Slide it up and down. So, already have a alignment issue just right off of there. Also, the back of the fender is not fitting correctly to the door and also to the windshield pillar. You take any flat edge on the door itself, you cannot go slide easily along the two panels from the door to the pillar. It hits in multiple spots. It's not aligned correctly. Retainer for the bumper, this one's intact. This upper one, there is a crack in it. color difference between the hood and the fender. There's a very high density of pearl metallic into the hood, but there is a fraction, I would say maybe 10%, 20 tops percent density in metallic in this fender. Definitely these two adjacent panels do not match each other. The door is the same consistency. It lacks a heavy amount of flake, especially here on the backside of the fender to the windshield filler. There is definitely a noticeable difference between not only the tone, but the side block and the metallic pearl of those two panels. Not only are some of these underside clips mismatching, but some of the hardware used on the bottom of this bumper is very small. It doesn't have a built-in washer, so when it was tightened, it severely compressed this material, and now it almost damaged it, smushed it. Jeff, you got me a workhorse? One of those parts horses I can put over here this bumper on? Squash this. taking off these bolts that hold on the bumper on the left and right side are also two different pieces of hardware entirely, even with different threads. Also, I'm noticing some damage on the bumper right here. It's almost creased. Damage. What? There's glue holding on this bumper. There's a, I don't believe it. I don't know what kind of glue that is, but there's hot glue holding on this bumper. Not on this side.
So is it tight down the bottom?
A couple more to take off. You guys help me unplug the electrical?
I can't really see it.
It's all nice. Nick, can you tap light on me?
You want to hold the light?
Sure.
Now, hey, those are cool. Are those made for this?
Yes, they are.
I need me some of those. Those are, oh, God, I need to get me some of those.
Go and put that right on the parts stand for.
Where did I snap on one? I want this.
Actually, Nick, come here. Bring that camera over, or bring that over here. Nick, I want to show him that glue on this camera here. So on the driver's side of this bumper, let me show him. There's some actual glue residue all right in there. A couple of these little brackets on this bumper was also broken, but that crack on the fender or the bumper edge is right there. See a little remnants on the outside, but Nick, if you got me flip it on the inside again, you can see it cracked and damaged on the inside as well. Okay, go ahead and I'll put it on that seahorse right there, Nick. All right, so let's see. I don't believe it's hot glue. hot glue from the back side, hot glue holding it from the inside. Can't explain that. How a normal retainer looks on the passenger side, fully intact. Obviously no glue. Right off the bat, we're going to notice that this fender bolt, except it looks like it's slotted. But if we go to the other side, no slot. Nice centered. bracket on the bottom side of the right fender is completely loose. On the other side, there's yellow tape holding this on for some reason. I don't know if this is busted or it's oddity. This bracket is also loose again. Other than that, I really don't see anything wrong with the headlight itself. I don't know why there's this something held on from the factory. Other than that, the light looks in pretty good shape. Alright, good? Yeah. Okay. Alright, see you tomorrow. Looks like this fender was replaced and there is zero inner coating other than the factory E-coating that comes with these parts normally. So you can see it's all black. If you go to the passenger side, you can see it's coated with like a gray primer, then oversprayed with the body color itself. So definitely a noticeable difference right off the bat. Also, bolt heads for the fenders seem to be off, they're not centered. And that head also, you can see the strip paint on it. Also, not exactly nice and centered. It's that area I was telling you wasn't fitting correctly. Fender is very high, big gap. But then also that bothers me a little bit how this looks like it's slotted. oval hole on that fender. It's also oval on the passenger side. It's just this one's maxed out all the way at the top where the other one is centered. Take a little closer look at this. So right off the bat, I could see that this bracket is loose, but also severely bent on the A pillar. So something happened with that A pillar for that to be that bent and loose and damaged. I have to take off this fender. the bolt that was holding it on that A pillar. Almost stripped out. Here is the passenger fender, completely untouched, all original. Definitely a lot of motion on this fender to move forward right when I disconnected those two screws. And then completely uncoated new front fender. Only overspray you see on this is when they shot the color with silver. The biggest issue, like we were saying, is the color in here is very light in the metallic pearl. Almost non-existent if you look at it really close. If you look at anywhere else, it's very heavy metallic. So we have a color match issue, along with why there is hot glue zip ties with this front end. Bracket looks to be a little out of whack right here, but this A-pillar bracket, you can tell, was pretty bent and it ripped out. Where's the retainer for this? There should be some kind of retainer for this wire harness. I shouldn't be able to just take my finger and take that out. Looks like this plastic tab, relief tab, that's the kind of security, so this can't go undone and move. That's broken. Wait a second. They replaced the driver door, and they're supposed to be seam sealed on the inside edge of this door where the outer door shell or panel is wrapped onto the inner door shell. There's no seam sealer on this inner edge at all. But to me, there's definitely damage on this A-pillar, it looks like. Put you into this bracket. So that bracket definitely has an issue where it's so bent, it's actually cracked right there. But that is very, very damaged and bent. There's definitely a orange peel color distant variance between the two panels. Also some heavy orange peel here at the bottom, but what we talked about on the inside, is there's no seam sealer on that edge at all. Zero. I bet if we even open up the rear door, yep, you see how you see a seam sealer? Especially on the bottom and the front, but there's no seam sealer. Or if we really, the biggest difference is if we look at, okay, here's the front door, no seam seal on that whole edge at all. If we look on this door, you could see that seam sealer very easily on that whole panel. And also, this is how that bracket's supposed to be, nice and rigid, tight. So definitely looks like there's A-pillar damage. Structural measurements to be able to verify if anything is out of whack. Also, it looks like where the mount locations for this core support on this vertical support seems to be kind of offset pretty heavy on one side or the other. So we'll check into that a little bit more. Looks like there's even some damage from where the fender impacted the windshield pillar right there as well. Tomorrow we'll take apart the door and see if there's anything going on the inside of that. That's what we found so far in this post-sprint inspection.